There it is, song number 1 on today's MSI, and let's find out what our panelists thought. Let's go straight to Ian to find out exactly what he thought. Ian, what do you think of track number 1?
Oh, I'm loving this. Groove, that bass player is something else. Could have been a little tighter, but you know what? I'm going to forgive him that because he was absolutely awesome. Tone was fantastic on the bass. Performances, it was just there. It was really, really good. I mean, the drummer was just as good. Very, very tasty. Very, very tight. In fact, the whole thing was very tight. The vocals, the bass, everything sat really nicely together. Some great performances across the board, but that bass player does stick out. Fantastic. As usual, I thought the vocals towards the start of the song were a little bit lost. Kicked back in the chorus, that was nice. And I found the whole mix a little bit bright. Everything seemed to sort of shining up in the top end, and I think it just needs a bit more sort of warmth in there. But I mean, otherwise the mix was awesome. I mean, that is really getting a bit picky over it, really. Like the use of synths, like there's some sort of woodwindy sounds coming in on the middle 8 and the breakdown, and that was nice. And then after that breakdown, it kicked out into just the guitars, the bass, and the drums pounding. Where was the solo? That's the only thing I really missed in this song. I wanted to hear that solo. There was some, good use of backing vocals, and it kind of had a sort of an 80s rock feel, like a Lenny Kravitz groove, but with that sort of more modern synthy, sort of almost industrial type production on top of it. So the whole thing worked really, really well for me. Loved it, really liked it, and it's got a great ending. It finished.
Okay, we know how good or how important the finish is to you. Thank you, Ian. All right,
you've got to finish, Rich, otherwise it's not worth doing.
That's exactly right. Now, Tommy, what do you think of track number 1?
I think I listened to a completely different song than Ian.
Well, I hope not.
Did yours have a chorus that had angels and assassins?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then Ian, oh my goodness. This is very, very retro. It's done well, but it's very, very retro. The synths are old styled. The mix was so-so. The synth sound was the synth snare sound was overwhelming and killed the vocal, was fighting for focus. I mean, I didn't like this song, but that never stopped me from listening to anything on here. This was 4 minutes and 37 seconds. I think it was too long by 4 minutes and 37 seconds. No, that's cruel, and I don't mean to be cruel, but I think it was a little on the long side, especially when you drop down and like Ian said, where's the solo? If you don't have a solo, don't keep the 8 bars in. It was just, a decently mixed demo. that the vocal performance was okay. I think it was a drum machine. I don't think it was a drummer.
Oh, I
Um,
beg to differ. I think that was a mix of both.
quite possibly, because definitely that type of snare is not found in nature, unless
How'd that
I,
snare go again, Tom?
it's the sound I made just before I passed out in the hospital.
As his head hit the curb.
I mean, no doubt there's talent here, and I just think it needs to be stripped down. The synths could be done away with, more guitars brought in, and the vocal performance was good. The use of backgrounds was good. Overall, though, I would lean this towards the oh my, not my cup of tea type of thing.
All right, appreciate that, Tommy. Thank you very much. Let's go to Andrea Bensmiller, our guest panelist, find out what she thought. Andrea, what do you think of track number 1?
Yeah, you know what? I really love this one too. It definitely is retro. It's funny, we were talking about the 80s before we started, and it took me back there for sure. I love the groove. Like Ian, I thought the bass player, excellent. I think the bass part in the mix lacks some clarity. I would have liked to hear a little bit more of the attack frequencies in the 2K range. Those to me weren't there. It got lost a little bit. The vocals, I disagree with Tommy. I thought the vocals were great. I love the vocalist. I love the character and quality of his voice. I thought it was well recorded. It sounded really good. It was well mixed to me. Backing vocals nice, not overbearing, so really good. Things I didn't particularly like, the breakdown section at the bridge, there's not much going on there. It's a long time to have nothing going on. They were nice sounds and everything, but musically there wasn't an idea to me there. Until you kick into the last half, the transition out of it I thought was great. Really nice changes and a different setting for the melodic hook, so kind of cool. And the solo part, yeah, I'd agree that there's either got to be a solo or kind of get rid of that section, either one. But it didn't really have a point to me. The drums, to me, it did sound like they were partially at least programmed. I thought the fills were really weak. Other than that, they were pretty solid, but I hate hearing the same fill repeated if they're programmed or even if they're played. That could have been a little bit more creative to me. Overall, I think it's a great track. It needs a little bit of work from the mix side. In my opinion, it could be a little bit bigger. The guitars could be beefed up. The keyboards, yeah, the synth sounds, there were a couple of them that sound a little bit outdated, but that kind of goes with the retro thing, so maybe that's what they were shooting for. But overall, I think with a little bit of tweaking, this is a really great track, and I like the band. I can honestly say if they got it really, really polished, I'd probably buy it.
All right, very cool.
You go, girl.
Exactly. All right. Thank you very much,
Rich.
guys and gals. Yeah, Tommy?
Your cursor is on Andrea's face.
No. No, it's not.
Well, some cursor is there. It's
No.
either mine.
My cursor's here on the side, and it goes invisible. It's the microphone she's using, Tom.
Yeah, I've got something on. That's probably what you're seeing.
That's all right, Tommy. It's all good, though. It's all good.
It's the drugs. It's the drugs.
Yeah,
Thanks
no,
for
you're
looking-
just moving it now on the side there. It's distracting. Get rid of it.
Okay.
Oh.
They're much better, much better. No.
Tom is the aesthetic police around
Yeah,
here.
that's exactly what Tommy is.
In that T-shirt?
Yeah, the expendable shirt. All right, let me introduce the,
We know it.
yeah, let me introduce the track to everybody. Track number 1 is actually called Angels and Assassins by Rolling Thunder. We appreciate Rolling Thunder for sending that track in to us, and hope to hear from them again in the future, as well as anybody else who wants to send a track in to Music Scene Investigation. Go to msi.icweekly.net or musicsceneinvestigation.com. Hit that Submit a Song button, and you're in. It's as easy as that. All right, guys and gal, we're ready for track number 2, and I'll see if I can do this one without getting all flustered again. It's Andrea's fault. I'm sorry. You just got to tell you.
So sorry, Rich. I had no idea I had this effect on you.
Yeah. Well, since day one, so it is. Now, guys and gal, you have that ever important duty to do, and that is to select a song of the week. So I leave it to you to talk amongst yourselves and make that decision.
Do you know, Rich, we never talk amongst ourselves.
I know, you never do. Why is that, Tommy?
Well, let's talk among ourselves, shall we?
Okay.
Let's do
what
it.
did you think?
Let's see how long it takes to devolve into something.
Why did you guys like number 1 so much?
Because it rocked.
Yeah, it really had I go by stuff that just hits me, and that song hit me. As soon as it started, the groove hit me.
And the bass player
Really?
was fantastic. He deserves Song of the Week on his own, to be honest. I elect the bass player of the band Song of the Week.
It
them,
was just so badly mixed and so terribly retro to me that it just threw me. And I'm usually all for the retro and the synths and stuff.
Retro's in there, man.
Hey, half my stuff is retro, half of my stuff was written 15 years ago, and I'm just recirculating it,
You're retro.
Well, I don't know. For me, it would be, I'd have to choose between the first and the third. And to me, the third, from the production side, is not finished.
No.
And I think the performance, particularly when you're talking about the vocal, to me, the lead vocal performance has got to be like nailing it. And I got to give the guy in the first track props for that. I think he totally nailed his performance, and that would be my choice. I would go with 1 for that reason.
All right.
Agreed.
Okay.
I'm number 1 as well, every step of the way. Fantastic. It's definitely the best song of the night.
All right. Tommy?
Well, it doesn't matter what I say now, does it?
Yeah, we still need it for the record, though,
Doesn't democracy suck?
I mean, I've been outvoted, outgunned, and outslung.
So if you had your choice, though.
If I had
It's even
my
more
choice,
grueling for Tom this week because he's been outvoted by his favourite guest panellist and his most hated in-house panellist.
No, I don't hate you, Ian. Much.
Loathe.
No, you're a lovely man, Ian, and I will agree that the vocal performance, I just wish I could have heard more of it on the first one would go, and then therefore, because it was more developed, and like I said, I don't have to like a song to listen to it or to vote for it. Just because it wasn't my cup of tea, I won't hold that against it. I'll just drink coffee and suffer. Never. I will say number 1.
All right, so it is then unanimous. Song number 1 is our song of the week, and that is Rolling Thunder's Angels and Assassins. So your job here is done. You're excused from duty. We appreciate you being here. Thanks, Andrea, so much.
Thank you. You guys, it's always a pleasure. You're a lot of fun, and I love being on the show. So I hope to see you again soon.
Well, we definitely loved having you on the show. If anybody wants to find out more about Andrea and the Live to Play Network, you can go to her website, dreadvox.com. And you can find the Live to Play network there, I'm assuming. And if not, you can actually go to l2pnet.com for the Live to Play network. So, Andrea, thanks again. Very, very much appreciative every time you come on the show.
Thanks, guys.
Now, want to let everybody listen to that song number 1 again. We're going to play out with it. Here it is, Angels and Assassins. See, that's what I'm talking about. Angels and Assassins.
If you talk to Eddie Izzard, he'll tell you on one of his DVDs that they were actually known as Hashashinj.
Well, there you have it.
Because of their love of hashish.
There you are. That explains everything then.